So this is the most important video that you would want to watch if you were trying to start your own AI agency. And I'm not talking about simple chatbots or automations that businesses don't necessarily ask for that you go ahead and build. I'm talking about a real AI solutions agency. Now, here's the truth. Clients, they don't buy AI, right? They want to buy what's going to make them more money, what's going to save them money, what's going to save them time. They're buying operations and clarity. Now, hey, I sell AI, that scares businesses away because they don't necessarily understand it, right? They only understand the solutions that's going to make their business smoother. So, what I'm going to teach you in this video is, you know, how to think like a business, how to pick your niche, how to build the correct offers, how to sell, higher ticket systems, and how to deliver better outcomes. Now, I'm not talking about chatbots or random automations. I'm talking about real AI solutions that could pay you anywhere from 10,000 to 50,000 per project. And this isn't a theory. This is actually the exact system that I use to build, sell, and deliver AI solutions to businesses for real revenue, right? And the biggest thing is, don't treat this like a side hustle. We're building a business. If you start treating something like a side hustle, it's not going to make you real money. Also, if you want one-on-one help to build and scale your AI agency, I help with that. And wait till the end of the video and I'll explain more. But what does an AI solutions agency actually mean? We are solving real business issues, right? We're not selling AI. So there are 5 pillars. And the first one is we want to solve expensive problems. Anything that is causing a business anywhere from 50,000 to 500,000 a year. And we do this by selling them measurable outcomes, either helping them make more money or save more money. And AI is the tool that we use to do this. Now, we want to charge this based on value, right? Based on the amount of money that we're making them or saving them. And we want to deliver this fast with high margins. Now, the difference between that and freelancers is that freelancers, they sell tasks, right? They sell AI. We're not doing that. We're selling the solution and we're using AI to do so. They send proposals and they get ghosted because that whole AI thing really scares them. They also compete with one another on price and they look like commodities. So, AI solution providers, we diagnose issues and we prescribe outcomes. And with these outcomes, we quantify the business's ROI and we close on the call and we become advisors because we work with so many companies that we know what works and what doesn't with our solutions and what's going to help their chokeholds in their businesses. So the shift between the two is you need to stop thinking AI. You need to stop using tech talk and you need to start thinking about systems and solutions. Our goal is to impact the business, to help them save money, make money, save time. And we want to position ourselves as a strategic partner when it comes to these goals. The key takeaway here is, be a sniper, not a bomb. Go deep, not wide, right? We want to be a long-term partner and make them long-term money because that's how they are going to be long-term retainers and long-term customers to buy more solutions in the future. So the first thing that we want to do is pick a profitable niche. We want a business that is already spending about $50,000 a year on either marketing, sales, operations. So we know that they're serious about investing. You have to spend money to make money. We want a business that spends a lot of money. And we need to find a problem that is costing them around $100,000 a year, or could save them around $100,000 a year. And we want to talk to the decision maker. We want to talk to the head of operations, somebody who understands the entire business and who isn't afraid to implement new strategies, who isn't afraid to invest. So some examples are SaaS companies. They have card access problems or churn issues, onboarding bottlenecks, creative test speed, things like that. This is mostly just causing them time or money. Info products, they have low show-up rates, low close rates, funnel drop-offs, issues with lead nurture. Now, these are costing them money, these issues. So this will help us make more money. E-commerce, creative bottlenecks, margin pressure, confusion, slow product cycles. This is making them lose money. We could help them make more money. Contractors, cost overruns, scheduling failures, communication issues, project issues, hospitality, fragmented revenue streams, upsell automation, marketing attribution, operational delays, and then professional services. They have issues with client onboarding, proposal delays, manual reporting, things like that. So we want to pick a niche where, if we just choose one of these problems, it's either making them or saving them $100,000 a year. And that's where real money lives, and that's where we could charge real money for these solutions. So now we need to build a no-brainer offer. And your offer is not AI, it is the outcome. That is the biggest shift that you could make to start selling these automations. So who am I helping? So one of the niches I explained before, everything that I named are high value issues that you could solve. So what are you solving? Out of those niches, one of those problems that I mentioned. How expensive is this problem? You ask them questions about, how many clients they have in a week, how much they charge per client, or how much they're paying an employee to do a certain task, and how much money would it save them, or how much time would it save them if they had this problem automated. And you want to quantify this in real dollars. Make them say it, make them realize on their own how much money is actually being invested into something. And now, how will you fulfill using AI? You want to explain the system, not the tools, right? You don't want to say that you build an AI automation that is a bot that is taking all of their calls automatically. You want to say that all of your calls will be fully handled by you and your team. 24/7, no issues. So, info products. I help coaches double their show-up rate using AI-powered pre-call systems that warms leads automatically. Or SaaS, I help SaaS companies reduce CAC by 20 to 40% through AI-driven creative pipelines and ad testing workflows. Contractors, I help contractors catch cost overruns by 25% progress instead of 50%, saving them $150,000 to $450,000 a year. So when you reach out to these companies, you want to be very clear. Clarity sells. And you want to specify closes, and AI is invisible. You want to explain your results in numbers and not fluff, because they aren't going to understand how it could help them unless you put it right in front of their face, how much money or time that they'll be saving or making. So now it is building the actual system. AI is not the business. It is the tool that we use. So step one, ingestion. So we want to pull in the data, either spreadsheets, look into their CRMs, messages, funnels, etc. And then we want to process it all, right? We want to look through it all, find the leaks, and format, route, and map them out for the business owner. Here's where you're losing money. This is why. This is a huge issue that I could fix using step 3, AI enhancement. So we want to show the business owner that, for example, you're working with a dental clinic and they don't have appointment reminders automated. They either have somebody sending them out or calling each patient individually, and it is costing them a bunch of time. And they can't get to every single client because of the amount of time it's taking. And because of this, they're having a lot of no-shows. So we will automate this system to send them a text or a call automatically, and this will reduce your no-shows by 40%. They're going to be making 40% more money, which that is an actual statistic that you could use. Step 4 is the action. So this is where you actually build this into their system. And then step 5 is reporting. This is where we either have the automation sending all the data somewhere, the amount of people that they've reached out to, and then we also keep track of how many no-shows they've had in the past and how many no-shows that they have had now. And we track this data and we show it to them just to prove them that, hey, this AI system actually works with this past client. So, like I said before, the show-up rate system. The lead enters, AI analyzes the context, it sends out the personalized text or calls, and it helps track attendance. It doubles the meeting attendance. Cost variance detection, system injects project data, analyzes patterns, flags early deviations, alerts project managers, and because of this, it saves them $150,000 to $450,000 a year. Or creative production. Product info comes in, AI automatically makes them their scripts and images, and we render the short form content, pushes to the editors, and it reduces CAC by 30%. So your job is not to make workflows, it is to fix outcomes. So how are we going to sell these high ticket projects? So first we want to diagnose what is currently slipping through the cracks. Where are you losing the most money? Where are you losing the most potential clients? What is causing you issues that would help you make more money? Then we want to quantify. So if 40% more people show up to their appointments, how much more money are you making? What is the monthly or the yearly impact? You help come up with a number and you give it to them and you make them say it, or you get them to figure it out on their own throughout the call. I'm missing 10 patients aren't showing up a week. They are charged about $200 per appointment. Okay, well, that's $2,000. What if we got 40% of that money back a week? It's around 800, I think. 800 a week times 4, 3.2K a month. I could help you make over $3,000 more a month with this one system that I have. And boom, it clicks in their head like, wow, that's a lot of money. How much a year is that? Pretty close to 50,000, I would say. Something as simple as that. Now, once you get them to realize how much money is slipping through the cracks, this is how we solve this permanently, right? We don't say it's AI, we say, we have appointment reminder system. And then we explain fulfillment. And they'll get weekly insights, warnings, things like that, something to track it. That's a huge thing, especially for older business owners who are a lot more old-fashioned. They like to see the numbers there. So then you close, you don't send the proposal, it is water lost on the call. Even if you use my contracts and things like that, you want them to sign on the call, you want them to pay on the call. It makes them so much more likely to go through with it. And, setup, start at anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000, and you get them to pay that on the call, and then monthly, 2,000 to 10,000 a month, you get them to pay that the second it is implemented, or you get them on another call while you finalize everything and you get them to start paying that retainer then and there. You could also do rev share, which it's a little bit harder to track. Very specific automations would need rev share, like appointment reminders. You can't necessarily figure out who wasn't going to show up before that system, but a good example for rev share would be like some type of cold call automation, anywhere where leads have been cold. Set something up to where it automatically reaches out. Oh, because of that, this roofer got a $3,000 deal, take 25% of that each time. Oh. So if you could create the $100,000 per month deal for them to where they save that much money or they make that much more money, charging them $10,000 is nothing. It's like, would you rather make nothing or would you rather make 90% of 100,000? Simple as that. So delivery, retention, and case studies. So onboarding, we want a kickoff call, we want to map out the workflows, we want to gather the logins, go through their CRM, things like that. Set expectations. Here's your issue, this will save you this much money, this is what I do. Then you want to implement it. Ingestion, processing, then we set up the AI. The AI does all the work, and then the AI reports all the work. And we also want to communicate exactly what it is doing to keep them to pay monthly for your automation. So if you communicate correctly, here's what's changed, here's what we caught early, here's what improved, here's what's coming next. This is going to make them want to continue to pay for your services because they are seeing everything that it is doing because of all the data that is tracked and you're communicating it with them. If you aren't, they might just see the $1,000, $2,000 a month coming out of their account and not realizing how much money you're actually saving or making them. And once you get an ROI, if they text you like, I've had 40% more clients this week or whatever it may be, screenshot it or record a Loom and document before and after, ask for a testimonial or, record a 20-minute long Google Meet with them. And you want to use these case studies to gather more clients. Once you get these case studies, you work with one dental office and it is helping them with 40 more clients a month. You go to the next dental office and you show proof of the previous dental office that you worked with. And they're going to say, wow, 40 more clients a month. That is a lot more money. So clarity prevents churn. Weekly updates keep clients for almost a year, for a lot longer than, oh, I'm spending $2,000. I'm not seeing the improvement. I'm just going to cancel. So the transformation, we want to, as a freelancer, we just want to sell tasks. And AI solution providers, we want to sell transformations. The simple path is an expensive problem. Now we have a clear outcome. We use this AI system to solve this outcome. Here's the ROI, and here's the high ticket delivery. This creates a real business with real revenue. This isn't a side hustle that's making us an extra $500 a month or whatever that may be. This is an actual agency, an actual business. So apply these principles immediately, pick out your niche, build your offer, try to stick with one thing, and reach out to qualified prospects, the actual decision maker, and start delivering these high value systems that pay you anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 a product. Become an AI solutions provider, not a freelancer. If you want me to help you one-on-one implement this system into your AI agency, click the link down below and apply. I only work with people who are serious about AI. I'll help you pick out your niche, build your offer, reach out to people, build demos, sell. You get access to this dashboard that you're seeing right now. But I only work with 5 people, and that's because I work so in depth one-on-one with my clients. I just don't have the time to work with 50 people the way that I do. Now, I only work with people who are serious and want to put in the time and the effort. I don't want to work with people who are looking for shortcuts or a get-rich-quick thing, because that's not what AI solutions is. So if you're interested, click down below. If not, I post a bunch of free sauce on here all the time. So subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.